Hey y'all, what's going on? Today I'm in Chantilly, Virginia, and we're at the Usvar-Hazy, or Usvar-Hazy, however you want to say it, Air and Space Museum, part of the Smithsonian. We're gonna go take a gander and see what all it has, check out the airplanes, and I'm looking forward to maybe seeing a space shuttle. Anyway, without further ado, let's go do. Okay, we're coming up through the entrance here, and just keep in mind this is free because it's part of the Smithsonian. However, there's a $15 parking. All right, here's the entrance here, and it's got some information here to show you where to go. We're just gonna take a walk around, show you what's up. And here's where this Air and Space Museum, this is who it's named after, Stephen F. Usvar-Hazy, or Usvar-Hazy. He donated a lot of money to the Smithsonian. And out here in Chantilly, we got this Air and Space Museum, and then also you have one on the mall downtown in the district. Check out all these airplanes here. And they got some simulation rides down there. So here's a map. They got them all over the building here, and there's a QR code you can scan as well, so you can take a look at it and know where you are. And here's the Boeing Aviation Hangar, where you could see all these aircraft everywhere. We're gonna try to get up close to some of these. Now the hangar, it don't look like it's that big, but if you look right here, we're standing right here, and that's that catwalk. That's right there. So beyond that catwalk, there's a whole lot of other planes here. So we're gonna go check it out, and we're gonna start with some earlier planes first. This plane's from 1911. Call it the Baldwin Red Devil. It looks kind of similar to something like the Wright brothers did, one of the first flights. That's the Fowler Gauge biplane. Look at that woodwork on that propeller. That was pretty awesome.
Back there. Now, one of the problems they had was the aircraft was in the front, you would shoot them down, or shoot at them. And if they were in the back, you would use the rear gun. The only problem was sometimes when you would swing over the top of the pilot, the cartridges were landing in the pilot's lap, okay? Which the pilot didn't like, right? But then he would look down to here, the plexiglass window, and he would look at the enemy lines to see what they were doing, and he'd call them up on his cell phone, and he didn't have a cell phone. You didn't text him? Yeah, they had cell phones. No. Okay, what he would do is that was his antenna. He would crank his antenna out, okay, and the weight of the lead ball would extend that piece of wire, and that was his antenna. And then he would send a Morse code down to the ground as to what was going on. All right?
This is the Olmsted pusher. The propeller was actually in the back of the aircraft, and it pushed through the air instead of pulling, basically how front propellers do. Here's another one from 1911, and I'm just going to show you the name of it. I'm not going to attempt to pronounce it. Got some history on aviation here. Check out that missile. And this is a Vought Sikorsky XR-4C helicopter. And this big plane right here, that is the Enola Gay that dropped the atomic bomb right out from underneath there. And there she is. There's inside the cockpit of the Enola Gay. Now check this out. That's a sail plane used in World War II, but it looks like a stealth, like bomber now. I guess they were already onto something with the design. Now there's a Japanese plane named George. It's a Shoten-Kai, and this one's only one of 3 left. And on this side, we got a lot of German planes. I just gotta point out this Rolex clock here. Pretty cool. Check that out. And there's another passenger aircraft there. A Boeing. And there's one of Amelia Earhart's flight suits they have here on display at the Smithsonian. And here is one of the Concords. Air France. They've decommissioned it, but there's rumors that they're coming back. You could cross the Atlantic in just over 3 hours, which is insane. It's a supersonic jet. And here's another angle of the Concorde. Think about Castaway when I see that. And here's the bottom portion of the Goodyear blimp. I don't know if I'd want to be in that thing though. That looks kind of sus right there. That one as well. Check that out. Dusty. It's like the firefighter in the sequel Planes, Fire and Rescue. Check out those types of helicopters. Now here's a pretty good view of the Concorde again. Just a nice looking design. It's just a mesmerizing plane. I could sit there and stare at that for a long time. Check out that view. Now we're going to take that catwalk and walk across down that way. I think Rolex is a sponsor here. They've got to be. Check out this catwalk here. I don't know if I'd want to be in this aircraft right here. Here's a view of the Enola Gay from the top. And then we're going to go on that catwalk a little bit later, and we're going to take a look at the cockpit itself. There's another one of those pre-stealth aircrafts right there. A lot of cool planes. If you're an aviation enthusiast, man, you don't want to miss this place. You got to come check it out. It's pretty cool. This is one of my favorite planes, the SR-71 Blackbird. I used to have a little model of this when I was a kid, and I also had a poster of it on my wall, along with some Michael Jordan posters. I'm not quite sure if that is, but I believe it's a Predator, that drone there. All right, giving a shout out to the Coast Guard Sikorsky HH-52A Sea Guard, because my grandfather was in the Coast Guard, and anytime I can shout out the Coast Guard, I like to do that. That was a big part of his life. He loved it, and most of his conversations, well, I would say a great deal of his conversations, focused around the Coast Guard. So this SR-71 Blackbird here, I believe it was Lockheed Martin, if I'm not mistaken, but it was a code word they had for the project, and it was called Skunk Works, and I believe that's why that skunk is on this Blackbird here. Pretty sure. Now here's the F-14 Tomcat, made famous by Top Gun. Here's a Blue Angel plane. And this is the entrance to the observation tower. Looks like some private planes down there. And there's Dulles International Airport, where I flew in a couple hours ago. This is a cool view from here. And right over there, I believe, is Reston, Virginia. And we're looking east right now. Here's the Enola Gay's cockpit. Could you imagine being in there, flying the aircraft and dropping the bomb? How would you feel? Wow, it's pretty surreal. That's an interesting camo design here on this plane. Here's the Mary Baker Ingen, or I don't know how to say that, but anyway, the restoration hangar. This is where they restore all the aircraft. And here it is, the space shuttle. This was the Discovery here. It's a cool R2-D2 mailbox. There's John Glenn's training couch. Here's something that kind of looks creepy. It is an android that they used for training because they could tell what kind of pressures and other things, painful, tedious, or dangerous tasks for a human being by using this android. This mothership model was used during the Close Encounters of the Third Kind movie. And if you could look closely, you would never notice it on the movie. They got a little R2-D2 right here. And other little Easter eggs. Pretty cool. Here's the quarantine trailer. When you come back from space, I guess decompress or whatever you got to do when you come back from space. And here's a Redstone ballistic missile. The thing is humongous. Here we are up close and personal with the Discovery Space Shuttle. This thing is huge. And here's some of the Discovery mission highlights. Here's the Mars Pathfinder lander and Sojourner rover. And this is the back of the space shuttle. It's kind of really hard to tell how big it is on video, but I try to reverse this angle so you could see how big it is, and it still doesn't do it justice. All kinds of rockets there. Check out this missile. Look at that woodwork on it. That's beautiful woodwork, but for a very destructive purpose. And this is a nice fountain here, the water flowing down. All right, guys, that's going to do it for me today here at the Air and Space Museum, the Usvar-Hazy facility here in Chantilly, Virginia. Again, if you're an aviation enthusiast, this is a must-do for you. Anyway, thanks again for watching. Till my next video, stay safe and live life to the fullest.